What's up, digital agent? I'm just kind of getting things set up right now. What's up, y'all? If y'all don't know, I'm gonna be talking about my why. I'm just setting some things up right now. What's up, Edgy? Hey, what's up, y'all? So I'm gonna be talking about my why today. Why it is that I got out of bed today and every day before today. So if y'all wanna comment why it is you got out of bed today, go ahead and do so. If you wanna ask me a question, why it is I do things, go ahead and do so. But from a young age, like, why was my favorite question. My mom and dad always told me that that's literally what I walked around saying constantly was, why. They would tell me to do something, and literally my response, well, why? You know, I think that's most kids. But it's a question that we forget, as we grow up. Why? Not saying that you have to be rebellious or that you have to disrespect those that tell you things, but you know you want to know why it is that you do things. So what gets you out of bed? Some people will say money, some people will say their job, whatever it is. Those things like that are only they're only because of your why you get those things. So you got to understand the root cause of things. Some people like, I'm going with the super greedy at this point, but some people like to say it's about money, and deep down inside they really do believe that it's only about money. But could it be that they're just trying to take score and be a better person than that other person, or than who they were the day before? It's not always about money, because money to me is just a external reflection of what you have as your internal worth. I was reading something earlier today that talked about it was $100 bill, an apple, and a gold coin. And it's like, which one of these things to you has the most value? And long story short, it was none of those three, but yourself. Yourself is the most valued in that whole situation, because without yourself, you're You're not. The gold's useless. The dollars, the fiat currency is useless, and the apple is useless if you're not there, right? So you always got to remember that it's not these external things on why you do things. It's you. You have an internal system that works and causes itself to do these repetitive tasks that you do on a daily basis. If you don't know why it is that you do them, those people, they feel a little lost. I was there. I felt very lost for many years. If you want to go see a video I posted a couple days ago talking about the books that actually helped me change and be who I am today and understand why it is I do things. I posted that, and it has some very, very powerful books in there, very powerful people that have wrote great things that I never would have even fathomed before reading their words. If you want to find your why, it's actually not that hard to do. It's a very simple thing. A lot of times we can't figure it out for ourselves, so you need to ask for help. And that, for many of us, that's hard to do in itself. But you get a partner, or yourself if you're able to do yourself. But you get this person, and you go over these situations that have kind of you feel that have shaped you. It doesn't have to pertain to anything in particular, but just the things that you feel have shaped you and why you are today. Come up with as many as you can, and then you start going over these situations and the result of them. And what you do is you literally start finding the patterns. And once you find those patterns, you're literally closer to finding it is why you do it, why it is you wake up in the morning. For me, I really want a better world. That's ultimately what it comes down to. I've always been an artistic person and drawn these fantasies and things in my head that I thought could, allow me to escape to this other place. Well, I don't necessarily want to escape to that other place. I want to make this place better. Through my drawings, I'm kind of learning that my internal projections are outwardly going on, but it's not going on how I project it. For me, though, waking up every day, getting to work, and showing my kids that what I go through on a daily basis, what they go through on a daily basis, it can get better. And the only way that it can get better is by working hard. That doesn't mean going out there and blistering your hands. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, though, is you find your why and you work hard at it. You find your why and you don't stop. Some people don't understand their why. Some people say, and for me, I could say it's just my kids. That's what I thought for a little bit. But like I was talking about earlier with those, like money and things like that, like it's not about those. That's not why. But they're results of those why, those working hard towards those why. For me, I want to create a better world, so I show my kids the good and the bad side of things. I don't necessarily hold anything back from them, and they understand the world is what it is. But I don't. I don't push things on them. I allow them to be themselves. You hear a lot of times when people talk, they say that you're a lot like your parents, or this person is just or what's the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, right? you know but in reality, each apple is different. Even if it comes from that same tree, each apple's different. So you got to realize, like I said, why it is that you do what it is you do. It's not these external things, it's something internal. And it might be a little bit of digging for you to get there, but it'll take some work. And if you're willing to put in the work, you'll find great success. Yeah. What's good, y'all? So any y'all in the room, why'd you get out of bed today? Y'all know your why yet? Sorry, y'all, I'm changing up that music. So many people think that we can either succeed or we can fail. Well, failure is yet another illusion, and success is all that there is. There's such a profound truth that you should make every effort to understand it. So all of life is successful of successive moments. Failure, when used without fear as a learning process, is what eliminates weakness and builds strength in thought and character. So essentially, if we're taking these quote-unquote failures that we have in our life and we're not learning from it, we're not taking it as thought, and something I tell my kids every single day is that you need to be a better person than you were yesterday, and take that into tomorrow. Typically, I'm telling them at night before they go to bed, and so what they're thinking about at night before they're going to bed, as they're going to bed, is just that what it was they did that day, and make it better. Because you could be an amazing person. You could be the top company. But does that mean that you can't get better? You could have the most followers here on TikTok. Does that mean you can't get more followers? Sorry, y'all, I'm gonna be talking here kind of in and out for the first little bit, but I'm having a late dinner. So kind of get back to it, but failure is truly a successive moment. A moment of successes in its own right. So through failure, you can learn to succeed and what eventual triumph tastes like. For how, sorry, I'm reading some notes here. For how you would know how to relish the sweet taste of triumph if you did not know how failure tasted. In teachings that I've been taught throughout my life, it's just that. How would you know how bright something was if you didn't sit in a dark room? How would you know how high that mountain was if you weren't on flat ground? How deep is that ocean? Well, we don't really know until you experience it for yourself, right? How are you going to arrive at your intended triumph without the tools designed to get you there? So what are those tools that you're needing to get there? Well, for me, finding out your why is one of the biggest tools. Because if you don't know why you get out of bed every single day, there's no use in getting up out of bed. So for most people, the most common cause of failure is the lack of clear and focused goals. And to visualize those goals. That's the hardest part for most people, is they set their goals and they're not able to see what it is they're actually setting goals for. Or who they're setting goals for. Often our greatest opportunity to be all that you can lies in our darkest hour. Your worst moment is often your biggest liberator, your highest teacher. So don't fight and resist them when they come. Instead, look at them for lessons. Look at them to liberate you. Look at them to find it, what it is that you need to be looking for. So getting kind of back to success and failure and how they can be treated the same. Most people don't look at gains and losses being in the same thing as well. People don't understand how opposites can actually be one. Yeah, thanks, brother. Thanks. They open up new avenues. Sorry, they open up new avenues when you lose something, you're not actually losing something. You could be gaining more freedom in certain areas. You could be gaining a new friend. You could be gaining whatever it is that you were actually looking for. Because sometimes, like I said, in our darkest hour, we figure out why it is we're actually fighting. Why it is we wake up every single day. I just want to say that though, suffering is always an indication of error in thinking. We're as human beings not designed to suffer. We were here on this earth to enjoy life. I'm not a slave. You're not a slave. I woke up today a free man, and what that entails is understanding what drives me, what pushes me on a daily basis. And for those of you that are here that weren't here earlier, for me it's creating a better world. if it's here to teach, if it's here to make somebody laugh, if it's here to show somebody that I actually care, that's what I'm here to do. That's what drives me and gets me up every single day. You know, I have these extras, these amazing extras, but they wouldn't be anything without me. And I'm not saying that I'm it being conceited or anything like that, but me and my world, why I get up every single day. For those of you who weren't here earlier for when I talked about it's literally a video I saw earlier. You have $100 bill, you have a gold coin, and you have an apple. Well, you're standing there, and those three are in front of you. Which one holds the most value in that whole situation? Well, let me tell you something. It's not the gold coin. It's not the $100 bill. The apple, I mean, has seeds. You can grow more apple trees and build stuff with trees, but guess what? That's still not the most valued in that whole thing, or the one that holds the most value. You yourself are in that situation, so you hold the most value. So getting back a little bit to suffering, what I wanted to talk about with that is that when you're going through suffering and you're trying to find, like I said, the error in that thought, what you should be doing is putting ego aside and looking at everything with humility, looking at it as plain in black and white as you simply can. And it comes down to digging deep and finding things internally. Why? You know, the quicker you find your why, the quicker that some of these things become more clear to you. You're able to live life on a daily basis without, for me, anxiety, without feeling like I wasn't good enough for everybody else because what they thought didn't matter. It's what I thought, what I did, right? You should think, speak, and act liberty, self-love, and just show kindness, even to those that you quote unquote hate. Act in kindness as if it doesn't, to me, kindness is sometimes ignoring it, acting like it's not even there or it doesn't bother you. Because remember, you're going through these things that you look at as a failure or a loss, but remember, they're two sides of the same coin. You're losing something but gaining others. Rather being oppressive towards those that you felt oppressed against. Why continue on down that same path? Why show that you're just like them? You are them. Because we're going through these situations, and if we look at it as a game, you're being fixed, right? You're being a better person than you were yesterday. You're that better person today. And who is it that you're better than? You're better than you. Who are you worse than? You're worse than you. Because in 50, 60, 70 years, honestly, that person, I'm willing to bet, is probably not still going to be around. And not saying like those close to you, but those people that you feel oppressed by, those people that you feel hatred towards, those people that you feel have hurt or wronged you in any way, they're going to be irrelevant. So use all conditions to enjoy and build yourself, so that when these negative things do happen, it's like the saying goes, it's water on the duck's back. Most of us have been programmed so that we fear failure. We've been programmed to give up on things when we get approached by failure. Failure, like I've stated, however, it's just all an illusion. We can find those successes even in failure. We can find, for me, if I had a business and it failed, right now what I would do is I would figure out why it failed. What was the main 3 reasons? I take those top 3 reasons and I would try to fix it with my next company. And if that didn't work, I would take those the next ones and implement those and implement those. But guess what? It's all a learning process. It's all a success, because each time I'm getting better and better and better, and I'm one more chance away from actually succeeding. Like I'm that close to succeeding. It's just it for me in baseball. I like analogies. When you go up and step up to the plate, every strikeout is that much closer to a home run. That's something my coach used to say all the time. So life is just all this giant collection of all these experiences, challenges, and successes, failures, ups, downs, and literally every single one of them makes you. That's who you are today, sitting in front of this screen right now, listening to me ramble on. That's who you are. All of those made you. Success, failures, all of them. Tony Robbins says that you need to basically, he was talking to somebody who was upset at their dad, and he basically told them that you need to take those things that you hate about your dad, or what they did to you that was good and bad, and you can hate them all you want, and you're going to show it outwardly, because that's naturally, as humans, that's what we do. But you can also have a conversation with them and tell them, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for making me who I am today. When you start doing that, it literally, you let go of things. You start feeling a whole lot better about all situations, no matter what. So this whole time I've been saying that success and failure is all one and the same coin. But there is such thing as true failure. And in order for true failure to happen, you accept failure. That's true failure, is when you literally just give up and say, okay, yep, I failed. Those succeeding didn't succeed because they stopped at their first failure. I'll guarantee that. Um, there's many things I like growing up in wrestling. I I promise you, you can ask anybody who watched me my first year wrestling. I didn't win a match. But come the third and fourth and fifth year that I started wrestling, watch out. So I don't know if I messed this phrase up or confused some people on how I was trying to say it, but every try is a success that leads to the eventual desired outcome, the big success. So view it that way. Sorry if that was a little loud, y'all. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna be eating for a second, so I'm gonna turn up the music so you don't hear me chewing. y'all. I appreciate that. All right, I'm done with my pizza. Um, I don't know where my eraser went. So another thing I wanted to talk about was, choosing our thoughts and our words carefully, and the reason behind that. We hear that all the time, but why? Why is it that we need to choose our thoughts and our words carefully? Not just our actions, because we know that obviously what we do affects us. Well, what we think and what we say also affects us. You got to think about words. Words have, for generations and thousands and thousands and thousands of years, have had a certain meaning. A simple word like sit. That's a 3-letter word, very simple. We all learn it. Dogs learn it. Stuff like that. That's an easy word. But you got to think that simple word has invoked imagery in people's heads for how long? Right? So that's just an example of how powerful words can actually be. When we talk about things and we're thinking about them, they need to be with purpose. They need to... Oh, actually, hold on. Sorry, y'all. I had my music up so you wouldn't hear me eating. I'd left it up, apparently. Yeah, so basically, in a sense, the progression of it is we think about it, we sometimes talk about it, but then we act on it. So we talk about it or think about it, and then we act on it. So to me, what that means is they could be negative. Couldn't they also be positive? So if you think about what I just said, we need to think about our actions. We need to think about our words. We need to think about our thoughts, right? Oh, and be wary. Be scared of those bad thoughts, right? Well, what if you start turning those into good ones? And you start talking about those good thoughts. And then you start acting on those good thoughts. Wouldn't you think that you start getting to those places that you actually want to go? But first you need to find out why it is you want to go there. So something I'm going to talk about next is it's kind of weird for a little bit of people. They don't quite understand it. But you can never actually get what you want. It never actually happens. It's an illusion. You know, I keep talking about these illusions and things like that, but it's one of those illusions that happens on a daily basis, and we're just not conceiving or perceive our perception isn't accurate of the situation. So what actually happens is very gradually you shift from a state of wanting to other states. And when you start shifting to those other states, I don't know what it is, subconsciously, some people could say God, the universe, you know, whatever it is. But somehow we start shifting from that want stage to actually doing something about it. And when we start doing something about it, that's when we actually start getting those things that we want, or wanted in the first place. Because honestly, we don't necessarily want them anymore. They just are. If you don't understand or not following what I'm kind of saying, is like I said earlier, I like analogies. So for example, just pretend with me that you're hungry right now, right? And you want something to eat. That's your want stage, right? Or your state of mind. So what happens next is you start to go get something to eat, right? You're hungry, you go get something to eat. You've actually shifted from the wanting stage to the doing stage. You can't literally just sit there hungry and not want something to, and want something to eat and just sit there. Even if I brought you food, you would have to actually grab it. Or if I was trying to spoon feed you, you would have to physically open up your mouth and you would have to swallow. That is the doing stage. You're out of the wanting stage at that point. So how does this translate into real life? So when we have an unconscious shifting from the wanting state to any other state, something big kind of happens, and you basically tell yourself, this is why, this is what it is, and I'm going for it. And if you apply that to all your other life, imagine how astronomical that could be. You know, what are some of the things that you want the most in life? It's not how, excuse me, it's not how badly you want them. It's what are you actually going to do to get it. So here's an example of it happening with something big. So if you wanted something really, really big, are you still going to get it? So it's a little bit harder for us to shift that focus sometimes. But let's say that you want $20. It would be easy for you to shift from the state of wanting into the state of getting it, right? Because you've done this before, more than likely. You've gotten $20. You know how to get $20. You could probably do that over and over again, right? But what if you wanted $1 million and you never had anything more than $20, $10, $1,000 in your name at any one point in time? $100,000. You know, you're looking at that million, and that's a mountain. So, would you be able to shift unconsciously from being able to, from wanting to getting at that point? Because you're looking at that as a mountain. Well, going back to the success and failures that I was talking about earlier, yes. But the only way you're not going to get it is by failing and accepting that failure and doing nothing. So, to wrap things up with that, you should just never want. You're never going to get anything that you want by staying in that state of want. It's okay to have thoughts about things that could be in your future, or things of that such, but the state of want is not somewhere where we want to stay. You need to carry your thoughts out with precision in these aspects, especially during want, because you need to be able to shift that focus from the want stage to the do stage, the action stage. So the desire in all of this is not a perpetual state of not having. In fact, it just doesn't have. Desire to me is not necessarily almost the same as want. It's kind of like I said earlier. You know, you desire things to be a certain way, but you're to me that's more of a stage. Like you're less in the want stage. Like that. If you're in a circle and the want stage was in the middle, desire is like right on the outside of it, because you're so wanting that thing that you're almost in that acting stage, if that makes any sense. Okay, so basic, in a nutshell, it's not the word want you necessarily need to be avoiding. It's not the desire for something, or the, like, you're always gonna want things. It's natural, but to stay just wanting it, it's not good for your success in that want. If you actually want it, you're going to get up and do. I see a lot of groups and things that I'm in that there's a lot of people that talk about great ideas and talk about change and solutions to problems, but that's all they're doing, is they're just wanting those things. I can't speak for all of them, or I don't know their personal life, but what I see outwardly is that they want these things, but sometimes they're not in the mindset of that do stage yet. See, and that's my biggest thing as an anarchist, that you take your own liberty, not because of chaos or anything like that, but because you're the only one actually in control of you. For those of you who don't know what anarchy actually means, anarchy means no rulers. It means that I don't rule over you and you don't rule over me. for me, finding that why, finding that those successes are the same as those failures, finding these minuscule solutions to giant problems that we have on a daily basis, I think is eye-opening and awakening for at least me. And before I move on from like wanting and desire and things like that, I just want to I want to tell you what the word want is in the dictionary. So want means to be without or to lack, to be destitute or needy, a defect of character, a fault, to be absent, to be deficient or lacking, to fail, not to be sufficient, to fall or become short, to lack. For me, if you change little things in your mind, they can do amazing things. They can allow your attitude on a normal daily basis to change. Your character, you find that you're at peace a lot more times. You're happy. You understand why people do things and why we react as human beings. It's kind of it was crazy to me reading and learning these ideas and thoughts and putting it all together, and to me it was like I said, it was eye-opening. I didn't understand why it was that I acted a certain way, but literally taking an internal look at myself and figuring out why I do things, figuring out that I'm not always the failure that I thought I was, I'm not the failure that I always thought I was, because, like I said, failure and success are literally two in the same. They're both two wings of a bird. I don't know. Don't get me lying about that one. But you find that, like I said, you're more at peace. You find that you're accepting that life is just that, life. And you either fail or you succeed. Plain and simple. And failure, to me, is staying in that state of want and just staying there, stagnant. If you stay in that state of want, to me, that's all you're gonna have is a state of want, perpetually lacking, like the definition said. Like, I don't know how many times that definition said lack, but man, if you find yourself fighting against want, just know that the closer you are to getting out of that stage of want, the closer you are to getting what it is that you want. Plain and simple. I don't know how many more times to say that. Just you gotta do. Just gotta do. But part of doing is finding your purpose, right? Why it is you get up out of bed every single day. And you can have goals and you can you desire to be better, right? But your purpose is not any of that. Like I said, your achievements, the things that you acquire, the friends and family that you have, those are all extras when it comes to this. Because the only way that you know and you can declare your purpose is you yourself need to have a great time doing what it is that you love. Why it is that you get up out of bed every day. You need to love it. Plain and simple. So we can actually somewhat find what our purpose is by considering that we all have free will. Some people think that free will starts when we're born. They believe that we don't have a choice whether or not to be born. But once they're here, they have free will, and that makes their choices in their life, right? Some people believe that free will is eternal, and that it starts even before that they're born. And to me, it's not such a strange idea. We, I believe, have souls, and those souls are forever. You yourself control much more than just your body. You control, obviously, your mind. You control what it is your body does. So I believe that having a soul, we were able to make those choices with our soul as well. And honestly, when we get deep down into it, a lot of root of our why is how we were raised, how we were brought up. We'll go back into the words and how powerful they are, the words that we were taught. So, to me, I think your soul is a lot more than just what some people think of. I think your soul has to do with what it is you're here for. That's when we feel that like, if you ever had that feeling that you're here and you don't know why, or what's your purpose, or what it is that what it is your why is. We can literally look at, like I said earlier, experiences that we've been through our entire life, and then find the pattern. Once you find the pattern, you're able to find why, and you're able to project that why. To me, that's your purpose. That's plain and simple why it is that we're here. Why it is you get up out of bed every single day. So here's a quote that I read, and it's by Khalil Gibran, and it says, "Work is love made visible, and if you cannot work without love, but only with distaste, it is better that you should leave your work and sit at the gate of the temple and take alms of those who work with joy." Find what it is a company is doing. Find what it is they're doing great. Take those things and implement it in your company. If you find a great person in your life, take those things that they are doing great and start implementing them in your life, and watch the results that happen. So when you're able to define your purpose, you need to basically keep that on your mind at all times, because that's your why. That's literally what it is you are doing here, your existence, right? So shouldn't that be your top priority? Everything else, like I said, is an extra. You know, I think it's something like 7% of people, or 93, whichever way you want to look at that, but 93% of people are unhappy with their, no. I don't want to lie. So, maybe 70% of people, we'll say, I'll drop it down a little. 70% of people do not like the job that they're currently doing. They do not like the career that they're in. 70% of people. I'm working my best not to be that 70% of people. Not just in my job, but in my daily life. How many of those people do you think, or total, how many people do you think are unhappy in their daily life? Change it. Do everything that you can to be that person that's happy with their life, especially with everything going on right now. So the surest way to enjoy your work is to work within your purpose of life. Don't try to jump outside your lane. Don't think that, oh well, this is kind of my no. Doesn't work like that. I promise, if you're outside of that box of what your purpose is, and you're trying to work outside of it, you're not going to be happy. You're going to feel like something's missing. Oh, and I think I got lost in thought earlier, and that's what I was trying to get to was, you're when you sit down and you find that purpose, you discover what it is about yourself that you didn't understand before. Talents that you have. Figuring out, like, literally, it's eye-opening. I don't know how else to explain it. For me, I'll give you a recent example. Art. Getting back into art. I've told a couple people this, but it's allowed me to feel feelings that I haven't felt since I was a little kid. Exploring those worlds in my mind that I wasn't able to remember or wasn't able to understand at that point. And it just opens up new avenues of creativity for me, and to me that's awesome. I look at drawings now and I don't daunt the process. I'm happy for every single little pen stroke that happens on the drawing. Sorry, y'all. I had to open up the door. To kind of get back to it. You got like another 20 minutes, I think. So not getting back to doing what you love and the 70% of people that don't like doing what they do. I'm not saying not to work a job or anything like that. What I'm saying though is if you are and it's within your purpose, awesome. There's a term that I learned recently, and it's by a guy I watched on TED Talks, and he was talking about Ikigai. If anybody knows what Ikigai is, go ahead and like give a thumbs up or something in the comments. But Ikigai is essentially your purpose. You know, it's a mixture of a few different things that you're good at, you like to do, what you feel the world needs, and I forget the fourth one. But basically, if you know what a circle diagram is and how they would all intersect, well, that intersection of all four of them in the middle of things that you love to do, things that you feel the world needs, things that you're good at, and something else. I don't know why. I'll look it up and I'll maybe make a video about Ikigai. But in the center of all that is your purpose, is your Ikigai. And if anybody knows about Okinawa, Japan, that's where this term was invented, was Okinawa. And in Okinawa, they're part of a blue zone. And if you know what a blue zone is, or if you don't know what a blue zone is somewhere where people live for a very long time and they're very healthy. We have a couple spots here in the United States. I know one being in California, and I forget where the others are. But Okinawa is one of those places. Could it be the water they drink? Could it be the food they eat? Could it be that they found their Ikigai? I don't know. But I do know that they are successful at life. They're happy. So if I could take some of the things that I've learned from them and implement them in my life, wrapping up some of the things that we talked about, this would definitely... Yes, Loma Linda. I knew it was, I think San Luis Obispo, so same area, but yeah. So that's one of the blue zones, and if I could take what they've learned, implement it in my life, I'm going to be a whole lot more successful person. I'm going to be able to take that and grow. And remember what we learned about failure, if you've been here for a good amount of time. But failure is not necessarily failure unless you accept failure. And true failure is only when you stop and stay in that want. Oh, a couple more things. We got some minutes. So remember that box of purpose that I was talking about. If we are working within that and in a job, the job is no longer a job anymore. It becomes something you like, it becomes a pleasure. Um, it becomes more part of your life because you're not trying to push it away. You're actually trying to accept what it is. Um, to me, that's the ultimate goal, right? You do the things that you need to do to survive while having fun. Who doesn't want that? Well, there's at least 30% of the United States out there right now that needs that. The quicker you find out your why, the quicker you find out your purpose or your ikigai, or whatever phrase you want to call it, the quicker you're going to find happiness. True happiness, not material wealth, not this illusion that some people believe in, but true happiness. And honestly, I'm not there, but I'm closer than I was yesterday. And I'm willing to bet that I'll be that much closer tomorrow. And one big thing I want to leave you guys with is when you find that purpose, realize that you can have more than one purpose. You can have multifaceted purposes and still work within your purpose, right? You're always you. You're one. But you're, in a sense, able to be multidimensional. You're able to work in a way that, as a whole, you're completing your purpose, and purposes within that purpose. So just so you guys know a little bit how I feel. Life should be about celebrating joy, celebrating successes, failures, all of that. Your outward expression of joy is a projection of what you have internally. You find that you're happy about the way a flower smells because this flower is part of a bigger thing, because you found out this. It's all just a kind of a big giant web when you start accepting accepting you, essentially, accepting that you are here, you failed, you've succeeded, you've had ups, you've had downs, but you're here, so celebrate it. you know, find that purpose that you have chosen for yourself, or purposes, and I promise that you're gonna find what it is that you're looking for. You're gonna find love. You're gonna find money or wealth, or I don't want to direct you necessarily towards power, but if that's what you're looking for, power. Whatever that purpose is to me, it's just going to make you better, which is going to make those around you better, your community, your city, your state, your country. So for me, a lot of these people pointing fingers around, this last, I don't know, decades, I don't know, especially this last couple years, we see it on a daily basis. Those people pointing fingers on a daily basis, or honestly at all, need to look within and find themselves. And for me, if I could leave you guys with one thing and one thing only, after finding you, the biggest way to find joy in your life is literally by giving that joy to other people, expressing it, telling them you love them, or that their music was awesome, or just the little things. They all start adding up, you know, that you don't know what that it's going to do to that person that day. You don't understand the impact of those little words. Remember, like I said, sit. Sit's a very powerful word, but it's very simple. You give that joy out, and it's gonna come back. I know it. It's universal law in a sense. You put out, and you get back sevenfold. I don't ever want to stop giving back to those around me, those who will listen. Because as you guys see, if I'm not eating pizza, I could sit here and talk all day long. So for whoever wants to listen, I mean, I'll give my knowledge, and maybe someday you'll find your purpose. Maybe someday you'll find your why. Because each time I help somebody like that, it's closer and closer for me to find my purpose and my why. Because remember, there's not just one. There's one main purpose, but you don't always have just one purpose. Yep. Or that, or like a butterfly effect. Or I mean, honestly, it all goes back to quantum physics. It all, for me, a lot of this was learning quantum physics, learning what quantum physics was and how it affected me, and then a lot of this other stuff that I was talking about started adding up. You can change. We hear it all the time. Our mind is very powerful, and we can change a lot of things. You know, for me, you know, if you're Christian, you know the saying that you're with the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains, right? It goes back to something I was talking about. Was you can right now can move that mountain. If anybody doubts me, I'll tell you how. Well, right now, I can hire a crew that will start digging, put it in a truck, and move that mountain. But the only way that I can actually move that mountain is by doing, not by sitting there wanting to move that mountain, right? Yeah, if y'all like this live, just go ahead and, if you're not following me, follow. I'm definitely going to be doing more of these in the future. Not all my lives are like this. Tonight was just more of a hoping that somebody found their why, or got something, at least a little bit, from my message tonight. But I'm gonna go ahead and get off here. You guys have been awesome. I appreciate it.